Good afternoon and greetings to the entire world. We are on the 24th of July, 2024. 2424. How about that? 7/24/24. I had a question about why I used such long arrows. And the answer is because I was shooting the gap method, and the long arrows, if you know what gap method is, you'll understand this. Cut to 31 inches made it such that the tip of my arrow was on target at 20 yards. So if I was 20 yards out from a deer, I could use the gap method and put it right where I wanted it to hit. Adjust up for a longer shot, adjust down for a closer shot. But I also noticed that the longer arrows point better, and that's what you do with an arrow, is point in instinctive. All right, look, let's assume that this is a pistol that I've just pulled out of my pocket from where my hand is. Okay, I'll do it this way. This way. This is my pistol. All right, that's a little short arrow, a little short barrel. You can hit it like that, you know, but you notice people don't shoot like that if they're really wanting to be accurate. They do this. That's like a long arrow. This is, you can shoot like that and you can hit it sometimes. At close range, you can, in a gunfight, yeah, that's fine. But a pistol shooter sticks his arm out. Now he's got a long pointer. Same thing here. A longer arrow is a better pointer. And I'm pointing. That's what instinctive is, really. You're pointing at it. You're not aiming it, you're pointing at it, just like pointing with your finger. Okay, here we go. Pointing at it. And another thing I have to remember is that I shoot left with this bow. I shoot left with all long bows. So I need to be pointing a little bit forward of there because I shoot left. And that brought it into the kill zone better. That's a kill. That's a heart shot right there. I'll tell you this too. You see all those arrows up there? When you're target shooting like this, one of the hardest things to do when you shoot at an animal is to pick a place to aim at. You know, a deer doesn't have a bullseye on it. And once you shoot an arrow in there, those pink and yellow feathers become a distraction to pick a point. That's why a lot of times you hit near a group of arrows because your eye is just drawn there. And we've got that group of 3 lower ones. And try as I want, my eye is drawn to that spot. You can see it right there. So you don't have to worry about that when you're going to shoot an animal because they're not going to stand there and let you make a pin cushion out of them. Thing still working? All right. The second part of this archery session is one of the hardest things to do in archery is to second guess where you're pointing at. You want to take your eye off of it instantaneously and try to look back and forth between your arrow and your target. As soon as you take your eye off of that, even though it is a tiny period of time, you're not going to be as accurate. How do you look at where you want to hit it? Now, another problem with shooting a deer is that A deer doesn't have a bullseye. They've got a smooth, one-tone, monotone colored skin. They do not. Now, if you were to see a deer with a black spot in the kill zone, you'd know where to aim. So you have to try to pick a spot and keep your eye on it. Now, if you're picking a spot that it's just hard to do, but that's part of the challenge. But once you aim, you do not want to take your eye off of it. Check yourself, see. Imagine where you're going to hit it. And see if you can manage. You have to make yourself do it. You have to try to do it. I'm not going to take my eye off of that spot. I'm not going to be tricked. You know the honest truth? I took my eye off of the spot every single shot that I made. I shot 6 times. I might have done 1 correctly. This is something you have to work really hard on. Looking back and forth is not going to make you shoot better. It's going to make you shoot worse. And the reason is because our eyes, our lens in our eye, as we check back and forth, the lens in our eye changes shape. So you're actually focusing out there at that target there is one thing, but when you try to move back to the tip of your arrow or your bow or your hand or whatever, your brain starts changing the shape of your lens. And then you've got to look back, and so you're caught in between. That's why training yourself not to look away from the target. All right, there's my grouping that I just did. 3 of them were in the second circle, these 3 right here. Those are considered pretty good. These are kills, and this is probably a kill too. I'll take the misses out. These are not bad at all, but they're not, and besides that, this target is not anatomically correct. As I remember, a hog's heart is about right here. Right there where my glove is. That's really it. This one here came close. These were double lung shots. So every time I shoot, I try to train myself to look where I'm going to hit. Now see back there, I can't see those circles. I can't train there. I've just got to do my best to try to imagine where I want to hit it. So I've got a spiritual message, believe it or not, that I'm fixing to relay to you. I would say, but I will show you where I think the perfect shot on a hog is. And I have stuck a few pigs before. This is it. There's a bone there. There's guts there. That'll kill them too. That right there is a heart shot. That's good too, but this is, even though they've got the bullseye right there, that's not the best place to hit a pig. This is it right here. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and regroup, and then I'm going to tell you the spiritual message that is related to not taking your eye off of the place, the target. Okay. Another way of saying don't take your eye off the target is say, don't second guess where you've decided to shoot. The second guess, and probably everybody has heard when you were in school answering a question, maybe a multiple choice question, go with your first guess. That's usually the right guess. Same thing with this. Go with where you're aiming. See if I can do it. I was a little bit low there. I might have caught the tip of the heart. I'm back further, by the way. I'm at about 20 yards now. Okay, now, spiritual part of it. This is for believers, people that believe in Jesus. The devil wants us to take our eyes off of Jesus. He wants us to doubt Jesus. He doesn't want us to have the same exuberance that we did when we first believed. He wants us to second guess it. As times here on earth and times in our lives get harder, we tend to want to second guess it. Is Jesus really real? Is heaven really real? Maybe it's just a made-up story. These thoughts are coming from the evil one, who is trying to get us to second guess our belief in Jesus. Just as I have to work hard to try to keep my eyes on the original place that I thought that I was pointing and not look away and second guess my shot, so you have to work as you get on through life, as things get difficult. Financial troubles come, relationship troubles come, illnesses come. I say the devil then will plant doubts. He will try to get you to second guess Jesus. And just as we have to fight against taking our eyes off of this target, then we have to fight the devil. We have to resist the devil. You know what you believe, and you know what you first believed, and you know the joy that came with believing when you first believed in Jesus. Get behind me, Satan. When you have those thoughts in there, what if the Bible is not correct? What if they hid Jesus' body and he didn't rise from the dead? What if? How could a man be God? All of those things you answered years ago when you first believed. You believed it. You heard the story and you believed it. The thoughts are not coming from you, in my opinion. It's coming from the evil angel in the air, the devil. So when you have those doubtful thoughts, you say, "Get behind me, Satan." The devil cannot function when you spot him in your brain. All you have to do is say, "Get behind me." He's going to do it again and again on a daily basis. And we're going to resist him on a daily basis. I'm going to put my eyes on this target And I'm going to believe that I'm aiming in the right direction. I don't believe there's a believer out there that doesn't question from time to time. That's okay, because you have this enemy that is trying to trick you into denying your original. You pointed at Jesus, that's my master, that's who I believe in him. And I'm going to serve him. And my household is going to serve him. And I'm going to resist the devil. I'm going to fight the devil. I'm going to look him straight in the eyes. You know, the devil can't look at you. The devil, once you spy him, he flees from you. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. It reminds me of when we were kids. My dad we had to go trick-or-treating around the neighborhood, and he used to go out there with us. Now, I don't know why he did this. I guess he wanted to let us feel independent. So he would go, like, we lived in a place where there were a lot of pecan trees in the yard. It was an old pecan orchard that had been turned into a subdivision. And every house had 2 or 3 very nice pecan trees in it, in the yard. And Dad would go out, we would go up to the house, we would walk up to the door in our costumes, and he would stand out there and kind of hide behind one of the pecan trees. Kind of like he didn't want us to think that but he wasn't going to let us go out there by ourselves, you know, in case some weirdo decided to grab us. He was hiding. Now, not that I'm saying my dad was the devil, but I think the devil is like that. He's going to hide and peek around at you. Try not to be seen. The devil doesn't want you to see him, nor does he even want you to believe he's real. So when you get those thoughts, I have an image in my mind. I just spotted you. I saw you around the edge of that pecan tree. And he vanishes. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Monitor these thoughts up here. You're getting down and out? You're feeling bad? You're second guessing what your dream is? That's your dream. The devil wants to destroy your dream. We're made to dream. If it's a good, wholesome dream, why not have it? We may reach it and we may not. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. And hold on to your dream. Point at the dream and don't take your eye off of it. With all your might, hang on to it like a bulldog. Now, I stole that saying from a friend of mine who is deceased now. And he said that to me, hold on to your dream like a bulldog. And I love that saying. Okay, got 2 more arrows. All right, we're going to look up there at the effort at 20 yards. That's not too bad. As I began to warm up, that's a pretty good little pattern for 20 yards away. You know, this longbow is not a laser-guided missile, nor a high-powered rifle with a computerized scope. This is a stick and a string and an arrow. I guess it's the oldest invention in the world as a weapon, other than just a stick. It's amazing to me that people in this day and time, thousands and thousands of years after this tool was invented, there is a huge community of men and women that are enjoying shooting this thing. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy the challenge of trying to focus on the target, and I still enjoy an occasional hunt in the woods for white-tailed deer and sometimes pigs. And I don't get one very often, but the thrill of doing it and the solitude of sitting there in the chair or in the ladder stand. I don't get up in high stands anymore. I never did like that. I'm just too old to fall very far. You know, your bones aren't what they used to be. And you don't need to. If you sit real still and get the wind right, especially if you do this instinctive floating anchor, you can get off a pretty darn quick shot at a deer. And if you do gap shooting, which means you have to aim, and it takes longer, you know. Not that you can't do it. Well, that's why guys like to get up 30 feet in the climbing tree stands that use the compound bows. They get up so high that if the wind is right, deer are not going to look 30 feet up, and they can aim and take their time doing that. But I'm not doing any of that anymore. All right, one last shot. All right, that's a pretty decent group right there. I hope I've helped you figure out how to keep your eye on Jesus and how to resist the devil and how to get more out of your Christian believing life. And I would like to say the Lord's Prayer, and I would like you out there to do it with us. And then we will end this video and go in there and by a miraculous process put it all over the world. From South Georgia, USA. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.